standards, quality, and competitiveness within and outside the shores of our dear country, as we position the nation to take full advantage of African Continental Free Trade Agreement. To this end, the administration of Mr. Governor Babajide Olusegun Sanwo-Olu remains committed in the implementation of policies, programs, and projects as they impact the business prosperity of the state. The administration continues to provide conducive environment for the organized private sector and other stakeholders by ensuring continuous public enlightenment of patronage of goods and services produced by MSMEs. Ladies and gentlemen, you may please be aware that as a responsible and responsive government, the inauguration of the Lagos State Technical Working Group on NAFTA will help to analyze some of the benefits of the agreement, which include, but not limited to, re-engineering the state's aspiration for industrialization, positioning the state as an investment hub and market destination for goods and services of the highest quality standard for 1.2 billion customers that AFTA has potential to bring to our doorsteps, enhancing the competitiveness of the state's MSME at the industry and enterprise level by exploiting opportunities for the scale of production, job creation, and better reallocation of resources, and providing platform for the state MSME sensitization and patronage. Also, the commissioning of the new deep sea port and other projects of Lekki and Ekpe will create over 300,000 jobs and reduce shipping bottlenecks associated with other ports in the country. Precisely, the development of Lekki Free Zone for export purposes, international airports, and Dangote refinery and petrochemical will be an added advantage to advance the export base of our MSME operators in Lagos and Nigeria in general for the advancement of the economy and well-being of the people. From inception to date, the administration of Mr. Babajide Olusegun Sanwo-Olu has provided various economic stimulus packages and incentives to relieve MSME of the burden associated with various productive challenges. This includes but not limited to the state government review of the 2018 law on land use charge, which granted a 3-year waiver covering year 2017, 2018, and 2019 on penalty for those that defaulted in the payment of the charge, 25% special discount for those who make early payment for land use charge, as well as the refund of 9% initial deposit by Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSCTF. So all MSMEs that have completed their loan repayment, the administration has also completed the laying of 3,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable out of the total 6,000 kilometer network coverage for the state to assist MSMEs whose operations depend on fast internet services to drive their businesses. By the way, as posed by Dr. Niki Akpan, the former NCCI President and Minister of Industry, there is need for Nigerians to patronize locally made goods. The patronage of Nigerian made goods will boost the nation's economy. As the quality of local goods begins to improve, patronage will increase. End of quote. I must state here that the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Cooperative has already adopted the practice of using locally made goods at its events and packaging sale as gifts for distribution during the yearly time and other seasons. I want to charge everyone in their state to embrace this approach and even scale it up as we spread awareness of the great benefits of patronizing goods and services made by our MSMEs. Conclusively, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the participants at this seminar/exhibition. I welcome you all to this notable event, and I must urge you all to be ambassadors of Made in Nigeria services in our various spheres of influence to ensure that this effort is given wider publicity. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a successful and rewarding deliberation. Thank you. Great guy, let's go.
Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, representing the Honorable Commissioner, who is not here in our midst, sorry. Thank you, sir. Having said all he has told us, I still want to use this medium to tell us, because I picked from what he read in his speech, that in the last unitary season, the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, we tried to package out as gifts during the season some of our, or most of our locally made goods or Nigerian made goods to people, for them to be aware that what we make in Nigeria here also can also be used and can be consumed by people. And not only that, this is going to improve the economy of our nation. So let's join in praying if we have not. And I want to open our minds to the other seasons that are coming in the year. We still have the Easter season coming. We have the Eid Fitr coming. So make it a point of duty when you want to give out things to people, especially those who are fasting. Make it a point of duty to give out to them those things that are made in Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir. At this juncture, I'd like to invite for the second remarks the person who is supposed to take this, the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Agriculture, in person of MS Abiola Kaoli Olusoya. But she's ably represented here by Mr. J.O. Olakule, who is the GM Lascoda, Lagos State Coconut Development Authority. Please let's appreciate Mr. Olakule as he comes for his remarks.
Thank you very much. Once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, Ms. Abisola Olusoya, I want to make the following remarks. If the remarks are good, honors to her. If there is any fault in the remark, I'm responsible for such. She said I should first of all congratulate all of us that are in this hall and thank us for doing wonderfully well pertaining to the local production. This morning I've gone around and we can see that close to 60% of what we are displaying are of agricultural products. The implication of this is that Ministry of Agriculture is highly interested in each and every one of us, because when you are talking of food, food is local. Food is local, and most of the things that we consume are from farm. And yesterday in the news, we heard that our incomprehensibly, we spend close to 60% of our income on food items that we consume. And we also know the Yoruba says, "Don't ever grow the ocean." It's a bullshit. That is, by the time you remove food, security from poverty, forget about all other things. So we are doing wonderfully well, and we are greeting you from Ministry of Agriculture. However, we need to do more. You are doing your best. Going back, what is happening in the country? The price of virtually everything is going up, and we are producing under a very harsh condition. No light, everything is harsh, but we are still there. We are still struggling to be producing, to be doing business. This we are not taking for granted, because really we are oiling the economy. Taking coconut for example, there is no how if you are processing 100 coconuts that you can do it alone. There's no how you are not going to engage somebody. And that's how it goes in all other things that we are doing. The person that is doing Kampala, there's no way you can do it alone. You engage somebody. That shows that what you are doing, apart from the profit that you are making, we are also creating wealth for the country. We are also generating employment opportunity for the country. And this is doing a lot in making the economy to be going. Otherwise, I imagine if you are not producing again, not what you are producing alone, remember the number of people that will be out of employment. But we can do more. We can do more. Now, the major thing is that while we are doing more, where we are struggling to keep the business afloat, what about the consumer end? The consumer end is the real problem, and that's why we are happy that this type of event is coming, where we need to sensitize the consumer more. They are really the problem. We have a lot of products that we are producing, but we need to do more regarding the consumer end to sensitize them the more. And this is where the ministries, the MGAs, this is where we come. And we are happy from the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, both at the federal level and at the state level, are coming into this space. But beyond that, the two ministries, we need to do more. Because these people that we are talking to, we are still talking to the same set of people. They are not the consumer. We need to do more. They are played their part perfectly well, producing, but the consumer end. So let's see how a subsequent workshop like this, where we put everything in place that we have more consumers. Let them listen, let them see beyond what they will be doing by their own private advertisement. With this, we are going to help these people more by raising the awareness from our own end. We have the ability as government agency to draw consumers to this problem. Imagine if you have 500 people, if you are able to mobilize 500 people as consumers. I'm sure where they are brought, they will sell more. So we need to engage ourselves on how we can do more on the consumer end, so that they will know that most of the things we are producing, and I'm sure, I'm talking about coconuts, the coconut that my processors are processing can compete favorably well with the imported one. That I'm sure. And it applies to all the items that we have seen. Most of them, they have like that number. They have everything that can put them there, but the consumer, that is where we have the problem. So we need to start engaging ourselves as government agencies and other stakeholders. I'm looking at a situation whereby we get the NGOs that are interested in this space to see how we can consciously and deliberately help these people by sensitizing the consumers. God help us. God help us. God help us. Then we also look at the situation whereby in Ministry of Agriculture, like I said, what we are doing basically is local production. And the space is large. The space is large. So we want to encourage you more, that don't limit yourself to what you are doing. If you are processing coconuts, there are other areas that you can also engage yourself in. So let's diversify as much as possible, as much as we can. It's going to help us. While we, the government, we will be engaging ourselves on how we can encourage the consumer to be buying your goods. On this note, I want to congratulate the two ministries that are involved and the participants. And I wish that we pay maximum attention to all the lectures we are going to give at this forum. With that, we congratulate us and we pray that after this interactive forum, after this meeting, after this campaign, we have more markets for our products. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Olakunle, as the GM of LASCODA, Lagos State Coconut Development Authority. He has said so many things in a short time. He has opened our eyes to see that 60% of our income as citizens of the nation go on consumption, goes into food, so what we consume. And if that is taking a higher percentage, it means that we should channel our energy towards using what we produce locally in Nigeria. He also mentioned that using our locally made products gives room for employment in our country. I want to believe that you will agree with me that so far so good in this nation today. A lot of people that would not, get employment from government, and they went to learn one skill or the other, and they begin to produce, maybe it's tailoring, how to make soap, how to make air freshener, and all of those things. You find out that those people, in a way, even though they are not earning directly from the government, they are earning from what they are producing. And in a way, they are self-employed. They are employed and they are getting a source of livelihood. So when we promote our locally made products the more, we see that the problem of unemployment in our country will be reduced drastically. And he also mentioned that we should do much of engagement with our consumers. We should ensure that what we produce reach out to them. We should do more of workshops. This is one of them, but more of this to create awareness so that people who are not even aware of what we are making can be aware. And he also mentioned that the space is large. If you are producing one thing now, you can also diversify depending on how versed you are. Thank you so much, sir. You have opened our eyes to so many things we didn't know before now. And I believe that as we are seated here, we're making up our minds to be sure that our locally made products are reaching out to consumers and we are getting fulfilled as citizens of Nigeria. About this time now, I'd like to invite Mr. Ononokono Godwin Benson. He is the Deputy Director and also the head of Lagos Nodal Office of the Corporate Affairs Commission to give us his own remarks.
Good morning, members of the United Table, the audience, the exhibitors, and all present. I bring greetings from my CEO, the Corporate Affairs Commission Registrar General, Alhaji Garba Abubakar. I'm the head of the Lagos Nodal Office here, located in Adausa. The role of Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigerian economy cannot be overemphasized or be ignored, because for you to be known, you must be identified. And for you to be identified, you must be recognized by the Corporate Affairs Commission. And when we're talking of production, exports, and so on that we are discussing or that we are talking about in Nigeria, for an outsider to recognize you, you must have been identified there by the Corporate Affairs Commission, and that is by registration. So CAC is a regulatory body that gives you the identity that you need to go outside or to be recognized that you are even within the country. And so, for the small businesses, Corporate Affairs Commission has been very, very friendly and accommodating. Your registration has been made easier, and even if you are one person, you can register your business. Whatever you are producing, whether it is groundnut you are producing, or crayfish you are selling, or tomato that you are selling, you need to register it. And you see, we have a challenge in Nigeria in that some people might be doing businesses for so many years. Meanwhile, they are not registered. And the time they now come over to CAC, they want to register, they will tell you they started this business since the days of their grandfathers, which is wrong. And in the law, it says that if you start business, within 28 days, register with Corporate Affairs Commission. It's there in the law from the beginning. So, when you come over to CAC, you come and tell us if you started the business since 1900, CAC will tell you to pay penalty, and that penalty is not negotiable. If you are to pay 150 naira per day, calculate it. If you tell me that you started this business since 2010, and you are coming to register now, and that name was I've used it to do for people to know you with it. Once you put in that name, I will tell you 150 per day for the past 10 years. You know it will be more than the cost of registration, which is 10,000 only for you to register your business. So I want to use this medium to advise the business owners or those that intend to register your business. In case there is anybody here that wants to register his business, please, for you not to fall a victim to penalty, don't come and tell us you started this business in the days of your grandfather, because we will put penalty on you, and that penalty is not negotiable. Now, registration is done online, so you can't even access a human being to plead. Can you forgive? Electronic means doesn't forgive. So when you want to register, start that day, register that day. Don't tell us you started 20 years ago, because you will attract penalty. That's the message I want you to take to those that want to register. But for registration, it's very simple and easy. It's online. You can do it yourself. You don't even need to engage agents, lawyers, chartered accountants, and so on. You can do it yourself. And the law has made it very easy. Even if you want to register limited liability company, which is the one that you have share capital, you want to go and take loan in the banks and so on with it. One person can register that and become one director and so on. Then for ventures, enterprise that is sole proprietor, it's easy. You can register with 10,000 naira. You can do that, and it's done online. The fees are published online on CAC website, so you don't need to ask how much are they doing. It's on CAC website at www.cac.gov.ng, and then everything is done seamless. You can start registration today, complete it today, and get your certificate at the comfort of your home. You print it from your own end. You don't need to come to CAC from beginning to the end of your registration. All what you need now from this year,
she's saying that she she used to be a student of Sweden because she's now training other students. So one or two words from her can also help.
Good afternoon, everybody. Mrs. Felicia, as I said earlier on, I used to be a student at Smithland about 5 years ago. So after the training, I started training and mentoring other people. And I just want to let people know it's good to have knowledge of what you are doing. Instead of us just saying, I want to go and get work from government after your school. If you are trained on something, either fish or like I'm into fashion. So I went to Sweden to learn how to write my business plan and so on. And I gained a lot. So from there, I diversified into fish, agric, shea butter, and so on. And I've trained a lot of people. And Sweden has taken us out. So it's better we register our business, then we should be focused on anything we are doing, especially the younger ones. You don't just stay. Government is not doing anything for you. What are you doing to yourself? I'm representing Sweden, I'm representing my company and other organizations because after that training, I was able to teach other people. So it's very good for us to know what we are doing, then we are focused so that we can get good things from government and ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. I hope we've been able to pick one or two things from what she said. It's good for you to be trained and also be a trainer to others. It means you have learned well and you are giving back. We'll continue in the program. Thank you for coming. We have
all existing protocols are standard. I must apologize on behalf of Nigerian Association of Small-Scale Industrialists. It's not just some minutes ago that DG called me that it's not available in Lagos and will not be able to attend this event. And I should quickly go and represent him. And I had to leave forever on the island and come over here. So apologies for that. On behalf of DG of Nigerian Association of Small-Scale Industrialists, we're pleased to be here. NASI has their focus, grooming SMEs, grooming small businesses, supporting businesses. If you come to NASI with just no idea at all, they will also groom you. If you come to NASI with ideas, they will fertilize your idea and groom you into a real business person or an entrepreneur. So in NASI, we build businesses, we build entrepreneurs, and we also support them with training, financing, and through the cooperative, and mentorship to ensure that their businesses grow eventually. The good news is that a number of people here have benefited from NASI, and remember, a lot of them here are still members of NASI. NASI people! Awesome! We normally say, great NASI, industrial self-reliance. Great NASI, industrial self-reliance. Great NASI, industrial self-reliance. NASI is there, available always to support every scheme of the government to ensure that we grow our SMEs and we grow the businesses of Nigeria. On behalf of the DG of NASI, we welcome you to this event and ask you to feel free to contact anybody in the table of, I think we have some reps for NASI here. If you have any problem with your business, be it anything that has to do with growing up your business, we are there for you. Thank you very much.
permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Quickly, before I go, let me quickly respond to what the representative of the Honorable Commissioner of Agriculture said. So, as a matter of fact, this event is tree-level. Right now, as we're here, the sensitization campaign is going around in town. We call it Road Show. That one is targeted at the consumer you talked about, sir. You said we should harvest a lot of consumers and they will speak to them. So the essence of that Road Show is to reach wider majority of people, and that is ongoing as we speak now. And we hope that half of Lagos will be reached today, sir. So that concern is addressed. Let me also bring the apologies of my director who ought to have been here, but he couldn't just make it. As a matter of fact, it was some hours ago that he had to call to tell me that he has directive from the Honourable Minister to carry on with one very important assignment. So please, here representing him, and he has asked me to go ahead and deliver his address to you. So wherever you see I will hear you mention, please know that I'm representing my director. So it is my director speaking to you, and you take it as such. So please, may I go on with your permission to read his address? I'm honored to be here today to join first of well-meaning Nigerians in this occasion of sensitization campaign for the promotion of patronage of made in Nigeria products and services. This, as you may be aware, is an ongoing campaign by the government of Nigeria and other private sector organizations to mobilize citizens to act in ways that encourage, promote, and support local production of goods and services, as well as patronage of sale, which are the common fundamentals for economic growth and development. I'm particularly happy that stakeholders across the country are beginning to embrace the reality that for us to grow our economy to the desired level, we must produce what we need and consume what we produce. These are very economic realities that we cannot shy away from. Distinguished stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is blessed with vast resources, both human and material. With our God-given endowment, we have in our disposal our resources which we can transform to produce and become self-sufficient in several areas of national life, from clothing to food, shelter, and other aspects of luxurious lifestyle, which makes life comfortable and meaningful. The challenges have been the combination of factors which borders on our inability to look inward, appreciate and harness abundant natural resources for our own use and for export market. Low capacity and technological know-how to produce high competitive products, lack of patriotic tendencies to patronize locally made goods and services, and the quest and attraction of foreign goods and services. The above scenarios are necessitated, has necessitated the federal government to put in place a national campaign to sensitize Nigerians to look inward at the step for local content development. The overriding objectives are to encourage production and consumption of locally made products and services and the exportation of highly competitive consumer goods in one hand, and to discourage importation of consumer goods as well. This is intended to create a strong base for industrialization that will provide jobs, create wealth, conserve foreign exchange, etc. toward economic growth and development. It is undeniable that micro, small, and medium enterprises are the driver as well as engine of economic growth. What this means is that the growth of SMEs is the direct function of the quantum of patronage they enjoy from the citizens. Nigeria, as the largest market in Africa, must be the one to decide and determine the pace and rate of the country's development through the value, passion, and patronage we make on locally made products and services. The big question we all must answer is how possible can we grow our economy when our first choice for clothing, food, and other essential materials are focused on foreign goods? In the same way, how do we attain self-sufficiency as a country when we pay less attention to our natural endowment and grow global goods produced in faraway foreign countries, which with no idea on how and in what conditions those goods are produced? This is a wake-up call and we all must stand up against those factors which are working against our interests and national development. We must appreciate and understand the fact that what we call foreign goods in Nigeria are equally called local goods in their countries of origin. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the advantage of producing what we need and consuming what we produce are enormous. Firstly, it supports the creation of a robust domestic economy where jobs are readily created, wealth are accumulated, foreign exchange are conserved, GDP is enhanced towards the achieving of economic growth and development. It is instructive, therefore, to point out that when we fail to produce in the local economy, we will continue to face the option of sourcing of products outside the economy and take it for the every penny spent on importation and resources used in supporting the growth and expansion of the importing country. It is therefore very clear that the actions and inactions in this regard, directly or indirectly, affect our economic life. We must have a deep reflection from the above scenario and do the need towards making a paradigm shift from the status quo. Government in its wisdom has taken steps to ensure a gradual departure from the entrenched habit of patronizing and prioritizing foreign products and services over locally made products and services. One of such steps is the institutionalization of executive order 003, which encourages MDS to consider patronage of locally made goods and services of up to 40% in their annual procurement process, unless where such are not produced within the country. As laudable as this initiative is, the implementation and enforcement has remained a great challenge, as some heads of MDS deliberately operate in breach of this policy. The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is doing a lot in sensitizing Nigerians on imperatives of patronizing locally made products and services as a way of growing the domestic economy. I'm optimistic that together we shall work assiduously in reshaping the minds of Nigeria and realizing that patronizing locally made product is not only an act of patriotism, but a best opportunity to enjoy quality goods, create jobs, conserve foreign exchange, and free up capital resources, which are further deployed in the provision of goods and services for the citizenry. For us to succeed in this campaign, we, the promoter, must lead by example. We must project our love for our dear country by putting the country first in our daily consumption decision. Government at all levels must be in the forefront in considering prioritizing and patronizing locally made goods and services in their annual procurement process. Sir, the representative of the Honorable Commissioner of Agriculture, this is one other area that we have to take to heart, that even our procurement process in the offices, we should prioritize and focus on things that are produced locally instead of sourcing for things abroad. This is one area that we have to look at very, very serious. Especially high cost of production. These are some of the challenges. Government is also not aware of the unaware of the high cost of doing business in the country, especially high cost of production. The cheering news is that a lot is being done, especially in providing and supporting in the creation of enabling infrastructure and creating conducive business environment for MSMEs. Stakeholders, especially our partners in the private sector, should continue to support government in its approach towards surmounting challenges experienced in the business environment. Conclusively, let me call on all of us to be ambassadors that will encourage patronage of domestic products and services among all citizens. It is my sincere belief also that deliberation in this meeting will focus on addressing issues that will support and encourage both the supply side and the demand side. So I end this on this note, and I hope that all of us will take this message home and will take it to our heart, and one person will talk to another person, and before we know it, Nigerians will only buy made in Nigeria. Thank you for listening.
So now we're going to have, before we go for the exhibition, we're going to have a photo session. Let's please rise for all the dignitaries and the representatives. There's going to be a photo session now. Please let's all be upstairs.
Particular program. We thank you for those who conceived this. We thank you for the capacity you brought into this. We thank you for those who were able to attend, and we thank you for those who were able to present their various wonderful products. We ask you, Lord, as we are about to bring this to a close, we are not closing our businesses, we are opening up for patronage, opening up for recognition. Our products will be recognized, our services recognized. We will patronize ourselves. Entrepreneurs get patronage. Nigerians will be empowered so they can patronize Nigerian products. And Nigerians will be happy with the products that Nigerians have made. We ask you, Lord, as we live here, protect everyone and guide us back to our various houses and our businesses. And from this very presentation, let there be testimonies of success in our businesses. Let there be testimonies of new insights in our businesses, collaboration, patronages from every walks of life. We make this prayer in Jesus' mighty name. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
She made a very good statement concerning the international presence of African products, particularly Nigerian products. But like I said earlier on in my talk, we must still believe that there's nobody in the international market that determines who buy what. What fights for you still is the quality of your commodity. So if you want to have international presence, because let's be honest with ourselves, an international market is a center of excellence. It's not for mediocre. To be honest with you. You see, I have one experience about 3 years ago. A company wanted a ginger from the north there. I'm from the north. So I now contacted some of my brothers there that okay. So company wanted about 30 tons of ginger that they should try and package this very well and send it down to Lagos. But you know what happened? When that ginger now came down to Lagos on 5, the road was a hell. Nobody could market that kind of thing. I think what we don't understand here is that in international market, nobody decides what happens here is that it's your commodity that will fight for you. That's it. Nobody decides, nobody allocates commodity. It's what you present that will fight for you. It's not from the broadcast. And that's the mistake we're making here. Because in Nigeria here, we do anything and say anything, and everybody buy anything. So
It's helping us, and God will continue to help us. Thank you very much to the federal ministry and Lagos State government. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's applaud him. Thank you very much to the National Vice President of NACI, Mr. Kuti George. Everything that has been said here today boils down to us being Nigerian. Let us be Nigerian in everything that we do. Now, as we close this workshop, finally,
The Federal Minister of the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is also ably represented here. Other members of the NIP, kindly please permit me to stand on the protocol that has been established. I am sure that we have had a lot of discussions around this, beneficial discussions.
Yes, sir.
I would just like to make 2 or 3 comments just to tie some of these things together. I am a strong believer in the Nigerian project. I cannot live anywhere else apart from this country. Not that one has not had opportunities to live outside Nigeria, but I can't survive anywhere else other than this country. Because nowhere on earth is like Nigeria. Not that one has not traveled, one has traveled far and wide, but honestly there is nowhere, no place that is as blessed as Nigeria, both in human and natural resources.
Now, coming back to the point that we are discussing, the first thing I'd like to point out is that we have the population on our side. 200 million estimated people. It's an estimation. We don't know how many we are. You understand? That's just an estimation. If we are able to count it very well, we are far much more than that. That is market. That is sufficient market. I'm the manufacturer of cultured marble and granite. We deliver complete bathrooms and kitchens. And there's enough market in Nigeria. We need 2 million houses every day if we are going to, every year if we are going to meet, our housing needs. And we already have a backlog of between 7 and 10 million houses. So why would I be looking for somebody to buy my products outside Nigeria? If I can get 0.001% of the market, I'll be rubbing shoulders with Dangote. So what am I saying? We need to look inwards, first and foremost, and look at the market. And like my sister there said, strategize and see how we can, make our money here first and foremost. The second thing I'd like to mention is about leadership patronage. Patronage by leadership. It is very, very important. In Nigeria, we follow the leader. You understand? When the issue of using seat belts, was coming, we traveled everywhere around West Coast. We saw them using seat belts, but we're not using them here. But when they brought it to us and they said we should be using it, we're using it. Now, we follow the leader. When we saw President Obasanjo, Mike Adenuga, wearing Ankara during important occasions, we began to wear Ankara. We followed, leadership. So if our leaders in Nigeria can decide to be patronizing what we make here, we will follow them. All right? Somebody has already let the cat out of the bag. The shoe that I'm wearing is made by Chelsea, okay, something. That's his name. I have a couple of them places for me. And somebody saw it today and has placed an order from him saying the thing is beautiful. There is nothing wrong about it. But we just like labels. What do you get from foreign labels? I can't even wear anything that you put label on it. Why would I become signpost to a company advertising their product that is not Nigerian? So we need to be proud of what we do. Someone came to our shop to buy marble and said he's going to tell his client that he bought it from South Africa. I said, that's your own problem. But the day the fellow comes here, I will tell him that it is made in Nigeria. It's as simple as that. So let's be proud of what we have. Let our leaders wear the things that we make. And good news we heard about some of these things that we're doing. I see nothing that anybody is doing in suits these days in this country. That is hot. You wear 3-piece suit with tie in this weather, you need to have everything. Now, this is a good concept. Federal Ministry, Lagos State, we commend you. Lagos State does exclusive trade fair from where NASI copied NASI MSME annual trade fair. And we have done 6 of that. We are going to do the 7th this year. The Federal Ministry, please, let's have more of things like this. And we cannot run a trade fair in one day. No. It has to be for days, sensitization or not. People have to see what we're doing here before they can begin to patronize them. So when next we're doing a thing like this, please.
I would prefer to use it much more than what is available locally. But I want to tell you to them that in Abuja, in a policy on ground, there is a policy that Mondays and Wednesdays, government offices, as the government personnel, you have to wear locally made clothes. And they were trying to reach out to even the banks, as you mentioned here, and other private sector organizations, to ensure that Mondays, Wednesdays, compulsory must wear Nigerian clothes. And just like you said too, the executive order 003 signed by the president stipulates that when you're making procurement consideration, you must look at local content. It can be less than 40% of whatever you're buying for a year. When you're doing your local procurement, you should consider what is produced locally. Services, you consider what is produced locally. That is why you see most of the country.
with large amount of money. How we are aware of that. Even at the International Trade Fair too, we do that. The Honorable Junior does that too. And when it comes to practicing or buying made in Nigerian goods, we in the ministry normally wear a direct on every Wednesday rather. You can come and attest to this. You can come and feel it yourself. That's what we do in the ministry. It's in our DNA to patronize locally made goods. We even buy something from new people during exhibitions as package or gifts to what? To our people. So in Lagos State, we are championing that. We normally patronize, and maybe this is the pipeline. We are going to set aside some percentage in terms of procurement policy to patronize our local MSF representatives. The something is in the pipeline, but I wouldn't know where to unveil the something.
I stand in front of you as a true Nigerian, 100% Nigerian. I graduated in the US in 1982. Immediately I put down my pen, I came back to the country and I struggled through Nigerian system on my own. I've sold bread, I've sold chicken, I've sold fish, and got married in Nigeria. My children went to school throughout in Nigeria. My point is this: I am totally African. I started exporting from Nigeria about 35 years ago. I promoted Nigeria outside Nigeria on my own so many years ago. Almost 35 years ago. I opened East Africa for Nigerian fashion. That is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, also Zambia, a lot of other countries in East Africa. I opened it up. My main point is this: when we have exhibitions like this, I am sometimes discouraged. What I do normally all the time, I go around and I make sure I buy from at least maybe 5 to 10 people. No matter what, even if it is 100 naira kulikuli, even if it is whatever you are selling like that. But most cases, when we have people, like, you need to patronize us. You need to encourage us. Because it is not easy to be in business in Nigeria. I'm sending a message to the governor of this state as I'm standing here. Let us start, even if it is a day in Lagos State, because I know that in Lagos State, the other states, they copy Lagos State in everything we do. I pray that the next president of this country will look at us. Even Lagos State can look at us and say that we have a day in Lagos State where we wear made in Nigerian suits, even our men, or even the shirts, even the clothes. I know on Friday they try. But if the governor can do that for us, it will go a long way for us to wear. Even the banks, you can imagine, you go to the bank, they are wearing English suits, they are wearing Gucci, they are wearing these suits. A lot of suits that are sold in Lagos are made in Aba. You won't know the difference because they put foreign label on it, just like Mommy said. Okay? So let us, in the banks, they can make jackets, they can make their suits out of Adire. Promoters are promoting Oshobo. I used to go to the embassies here in Nigeria in those days, before Boko Haram. They are lunch break, French embassy, American embassy. I used to go inside their residence and exhibit at their lunch break, exhibit made in Nigeria products. And those days, there was a day I did an exhibition there and I bought a brand new vehicle station wagon. Because before Boko Haram, okay, so security is another thing for us. You can imagine, if if we tell American embassy we are coming to exhibit in their embassy, they will allow, because they used to allow me and I was a no-ranger. So if government is really serious in promoting us, there are ways around these things. All the embassies, they used to patronize me. We do exhibitions in Victoria Island, and they used to do that. So this is good, but follow-up is important. Follow-up is very, very important. Let government help us to promote us. It's very, very important. And when you come to occasions like this, we are made in Nigeria. We are just like my NACIT former chairman is there. I see he's coming to sit there. And
one of our members that provide such services or products is patronized. We buy from ourselves. We don't go buy outside. We make sure that whatever we are doing, we patronize our members who offer such services or products. That is the way of showing patriotism. Of course, we can go to buy from other or imported brands, but we insist on using our local brands. So if you are in a group or a setup, you can always advocate that when events are taking place, that will attract mass order. They should patronize those members who have such products or services. That way we patronize ourselves, that way we buy made in Nigeria. So it is not going to be an easy thing that government to begin to force people to use Nigerian products. But just like the man of the ministry said, that quality is another issue. You cannot force people to buy what does not meet their test. But then we can ask ourselves questions. The quality we are buying, many centuries ago, was it the same quality? No. They worked on it. Over time, they improved until they got to the point where we think it's a standard. Why can't we run our own that? Begin to patronize what we have. Begin to use what we have. As the quality improves, we continue to improve until it becomes a standard. So, patronizing ourselves should be a deliberate act. If you go to the supermarket to buy things that are made in Nigeria, if you see a Nigerian product, why don't you buy Nigerian things for it? Start from yourself. All of us should be doing that. And that's what we preach in our group, that people must buy what we produce, use what we have.
Facilities. You can go there as well. Everybody within that sector can go there and make use of those machines that are there. We have a facility. We will replicate that across the state. In other words, I mean, it will be located in each senatorial district. We are working on the Lagos Central District now. In order to replicate that, we are going to do that. So, in Lagos State, we've done a lot in that regard. So anybody in the fashion subsector or industry can visit. It's located in Kekaya, number 5 in off Allen Avenue. So that is where we are at. And the first point you raised, we talk about enforcement. I believe it's a very good suggestion. It's noted, well noted. We will try to work on that. Thank you.
We're able to produce this despite the high economic situation we are going through. So before I go on, I want to salute all the producers, the exporters who are able to saw the product displayed by some of our CPP exhibitors. I was really excited, but I said that